Someone you know is finished a 2-hour session at the gym before you wake up. They've logged their macros, packed their meal prep, and before most people have opened their eyes, they've already done more for their body than the average person does in a week. From the outside, it looks like discipline. It looks like health. It looks like someone who genuinely has their life together. But here's what nobody's saying out loud. A lot of those people are running from something, not towards something, from it. Stay with me, because what I'm about to break down is something the wellness industry has a financial interest in, never telling you. We're going to get into why super fit millennials are quietly some of the most anxious people in the room, why the gym has become the new therapy nobody's billing for, and most importantly, whether the identity you've built around your body is actually serving you or quietly controlling you. Let me ask you something. When did taking care of your body stop being something you do and start being something you are? There's a version of fitness that's genuinely about health, energy, longevity, feeling good in your skin. And then there's a different version, one that looks almost identical from the outside, running on a completely different fuel. It runs on guilt, on control, on the quiet, unspoken fear that if you miss a workout, if you eat off plan, if you take a full rest week, something will unravel. Not just your progress, you. This is the part nobody talks about. We've made fitness so culturally noble that questioning your motivation feels almost offensive, like you're attacking someone's character for going to the gym. Motivation matters though, because the same behavior driven by fear versus freedom produces a completely different life. A lot of super fit millennials have built an entire identity on top of a coping mechanism. They just don't know it yet. And before you decide this doesn't apply to you, I want you to sit with something for a second. The fitness industry didn't create this. Social media sharpened it, but the psychology goes deeper. Millennials grew up in an era of radical uncertainty, economic collapse, impossible career ladders, relationships that don't follow the old scripts. When the external world stops making sense, the body becomes the one thing you can control, the one domain where effort still produces a predictable result. Work hard, see results. It's almost intoxicating in a world where nothing else works that cleanly. So the gym stops being a place you go. It becomes a place you live, emotionally and psychologically. Your worth gets tied to your consistency. Your mood gets tied to your output. You start measuring your character by your calorie deficit. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. That's not health. That's a coping system wearing health's clothes. Do you see the shift? This isn't about whether you train hard or eat clean. This is about what happens inside you when you don't. That's the tell. That's where the psychology reveals itself. There's something nobody is accounting for in all of this, and it might be the most important variable in the entire equation. Let's get real. If skipping one rest day fills you with genuine dread, that's not discipline, that's dependency. If your self-worth crashes every time you eat something that wasn't in the plan, that's not commitment, that's punishment. If you feel superior to people who don't train and quietly anxious around people who train harder, your relationship with fitness has become about something much older than fitness. The cruel irony is that the fitter you get, the more invisible this becomes. The results justify the behavior. People compliment the body without ever asking about the mind running it. The aesthetics become a permission slip for the obsession. You look great, so the anxiety must be fine. The anxiety is not fine. Somewhere, quietly, you already know that. The super fit millennial who can't take a vacation without finding a gym. The one who negotiates every social meal like it's a threat. That person isn't free. They've built a very convincing cage and decorated it with discipline. I didn't see this pattern clearly for a long time, honestly. And I was wrong to assume the optics told the whole story. And here's what makes this so hard to see. It comes dressed as something virtuous. Fitness culture has done something very clever. It took anxiety, perfectionism, and control and gave them a rebrand. Anxiety becomes drive. Perfectionism becomes standards. Control becomes discipline. Those words carry cultural weight, so the thing underneath them never gets examined. Think about it. When someone says, "I just have high standards for myself," we nod. Nobody asks what happens to them emotionally when they fall short. Nobody asks where the standards came from, or whether they were chosen freely or inherited from something much less flattering. The genuinely healthy athletes I've encountered, and I mean psychologically healthy, are not the most consistent. They're the most flexible. They can eat the birthday cake without a 48-hour guilt spiral. They can take a week off without their identity fracturing. They train hard because it actually feels good, not because the alternative feels like failure. That flexibility is a more impressive achievement than any physique. It means the fitness is in service of the life, not the other way around. And this is where the real question surfaces, the one that makes most people genuinely uncomfortable. Who would you be without it? Not the training can stay, but the identity, the label, the quiet hierarchy in your head that ranks people by their body fat percentage and meal prep habits. If you stripped that away entirely, who's underneath? The people most resistant to that question are usually the ones who need to answer it most urgently. The fitness became load-bearing. It's holding up something that probably needs to be examined separately, maybe in a therapist's office, maybe in a journal, maybe just in an honest conversation you've been postponing with yourself. None of this means your discipline isn't real. None of this means your results don't matter. Real health, though, the kind that doesn't keep you up at 2 a.m. stressed about tomorrow's session, the kind that doesn't cost you full presence at the dinner table. That health requires more than a good program. It requires a reason to train that could survive you not training. So the question isn't whether you're fit. The question is whether you're free. Those are not the same thing. If you're being honest right now, you already know which one you actually have. That's not a comfortable place to land. Comfort was never the point, though. The point is clarity. The point is doing this thing, this fitness, this commitment to your body, for reasons that hold up under pressure. Reasons that don't demand perfection to survive. The body is not the goal. The body is a side effect of how you're choosing to live. Get the living right, and the rest follows.